taking a look at the satellite from yesterday because it was very similar to what we saw Monday. A lot of clear skies giving us plenty of sunshine. Temperatures pretty similar to Monday, though a little bit warmer yesterday. It was just a few degrees. And if we're looking here as we start to go into today, notice that's a little bit of a different story. We're seeing that cloud cover making its way into the area, and notice this area of precipitation as developing right now, and that does include here in the Northland, and actually that includes a little bit of snow as well. We're seeing some snow around from International Falls all the way down here towards the Iron Range, around Big Four, going its way towards the Boundary Waters. As you go further west, it's mostly rain right now. And if you look here, this is an image from International Falls, so it looks like we're having, if we do have snow, most of the cameras right now are not showing any accumulation, so it's either melting if it is snowing or just really not showing up. But there is some snow on the radar. That means it can make it to the surface if the surface is not too warm. But as we start to head later on today, we're mostly going to see it transition to rain if there is snow, because we're going to see the warm up, and you'll notice it's going to be still staying mostly in northern Minnesota. But we will start to see more showers further south, especially this evening heading into the overnight hours, as we have a cold front start pushing some of these showers further to the south and to the east. By the time we start again on Thursday, we'll see a bit of clearing, though we can continue to see a couple of snow showers in far northern Minnesota as that system that's bringing this cold front and these showers off to the north continues churning away. And we look here at those rain totals, not going to be too significant. We can see some places again up here towards over a quarter of an inch potentially, especially as you go far north around the international border, especially once you get around Big Four International Fall to the east. That is where it looks like a lot of the rain has been falling kind of in this area, and it's going to continue to do so today. So a little bit of increase in chance for there to be more precipitation up here overall, but still lava is going to be staying under a quarter of an inch, especially the further south you go. This is where it's going to become very minimal when it comes to the rain totals. And actually, if you look at here at Ely and we look at some of the model runs here, this is showing most around, if not below a quarter with the models. Again, if we showed International Falls, probably a little bit of an increase around, centered on closer to a quarter of an inch, but it's just not going to bring a ton of rain overall with this system. So it's not going to really help a ton of the drought conditions. Likely to see drought conditions can persist through the winter, but any rain we could get before we mostly just start seeing snow and cold temperatures can help with some of the drought we've been seeing. And if we look here at our temperature forecast for today, not going to be changing much from the last 2 days. 30s, low 40s. Of course, this is despite the cloud cover, and that's because we're going to have a southerly wind making its way in. But with the cloud cover in this system, temperatures are not going to change. You probably didn't notice, but I just pulled this out over 24 hours until 11 a.m. tomorrow. The temperature is really going to be staying pretty consistent, just some little fluctuations. The most fluctuation you're going to see is just ahead of the cold front moving through tomorrow morning, and just ahead of it, this is where we can see some temperatures try to raise a bit more into the mid 40s. But overall, we're not going to be seeing too much change over the next 24 hours with those temperatures staying, again, 30s, low 40s. And I mentioned the southerly breeze. That is bringing up warmer air, but because of the cloud cover, not going to be getting much warmth from the sun, and that's why temperatures not going to be changing all that much. And the breeze is going to start picking up, especially as we start to head into our Thursday a bit. And this is where we can see some gusts getting over 20 miles per hour. We can see some gusts today get up to 20 miles per hour, but the breeze is going to be notable, but is not going to be very strong both today and tomorrow, though a little stronger tomorrow. And we're going to look at the temperatures because this cold front not very strong, but it is going to keep Friday a little bit on the cooler side. Again, 30s, low 40s as we go farther south, similar to what we've been seeing early this week with those temperatures. And this is when we're going to have that sunlight being back out as well. But we'll become more mild as we head into the weekend. 40s will start making their way back in. If we get a closer look here on Sunday, notice that into northwest Wisconsin, south along the I-35 corridor, a lot of those upper 40s, a little bit cooler in northern Minnesota, but overall going to feel quite mild because, believe it or not, winter is just around the corner. We're almost about to wrap up on November, so these kind of temperatures being well into the 40s is going to become more and more unusual going forward. And we're going to see a high pressure system make its way on in as we start to head into late Thursday going into Friday. This is going to keep us mostly dry in the coming days, though we can see a couple chances for more showers. They're going to be isolated, and they're going to come across as like these small clipper-like systems. Mainly you see some here in the Arrowhead region that we can see early Saturday being a little bit consistent. So early Saturday in the Arrowhead, maybe we see a few showers. But as we start to pull this forward, mostly going to be dry until a more substantial chance for some rain and snow come as we get into Tuesday. Of course, this is just one model run. This is the European model. If we show another model around the exact same time frame, notice that we still have that system in the area. However, it's going to have a lot less moisture to play with. So moisture is going to be a big thing. How organized the system is going to be another thing. So again, right now we're not too confident on exactly how much rain or snow we could get with this system Tuesday, but there is a good chance that we start seeing systems making their way in because we're going to enter a more active weather pattern next week. But until then, we have the showers for today going into the overnight hours before we calm up heading towards the end of the week, and we're going to see more mild temperatures return as we get into this weekend.